So just a comfortable position to begin. You can sit on a block or pillow, you can sit cross-legged, or you can sit on your heels, whatever you'd like. I always like to begin the practice with some breathing to help us settle into the body, settle into presence. Then we'll move quite a bit. I'll offer challenges along the way and all different kinds of modifications so you find what's right for you. And then, as I mentioned, we'll end with some sound bowls, a gentle, relaxing sound bath. All right, so once you find your seat, lift your shoulders to your ears, take a breath in, and then draw your shoulders back and exhale them down. So I want you to see if you can just feel the widening of the collarbones. You can draw the navel in for a moment and gently, slightly lower the chin so that you feel an equal amount of length of the back body from tailbone to brainstem. Rest your hands anywhere comfortable, palms down or up, all good. Heavy shoulders, and then let your eyes softly close and get a little heavy. Let the lips softly close and relax. Begin to relax the brow and forehead, the back of the throat. And notice your natural breath as it easily flows in and out of your nose. And please know that if anything I suggest doesn't serve you or work for you for any reason, it's fine. Please alter things and change things so that they really suit you, so that you honor yourself along the way. Now we're just going to begin with some yogic breath, some complete yogic breathing. So first we'll balance the breath, Samavriti. So perhaps inhaling to the count of 3 or 4. When you're comfortably full, exhale to that same count. So you'll just count internally for yourself. Inhaling, filling up. Exhaling as you relax. And just balancing the length of the inhale and the exhale. This helps to balance the nervous system. Great, and then the next time that you breathe in, first you're going to direct the breath into the abdomen, letting it expand, then into the rib cage, and then up into the chest and collarbones. And as you breathe out, you'll empty from the chest, and then the ribs will draw inward, and the belly will empty. You can even pull the navel back to empty completely. So let's do it together. Inhale, belly, ribs widen, chest lifting and expanding. Exhale as the chest softens, the ribs naturally draw inward, and the belly empties, and then pull the navel back. And again, inhale, let the belly widen front to back, ribs widen side to side, chest rises and fills. Exhale as the chest softens. You may feel a drop of the collarbones, the ribs naturally draw inward, and the belly empties. Pull the navel back to squeeze the remaining air out. And again, inhale, belly, even into the back, the low back. Ribs, even behind the ribs. Chest, even behind the heart. Maybe you feel it in your neck. Exhale, chest softens. Maybe the shoulders drop. Ribs soften inward. And belly empties. Pull that navel back. Let's just do 3 more rounds. Your pace now. Belly, ribs, chest, full expansion. Emptying first from the top, then from the middle, and then all the way to the bottom. And as you pull the navel back, you might feel the pelvic floor lift. 2 more on your own. Keeping the eyes and shoulders relaxed. On your next inhalation, expand everywhere you like. Reach up your arms. Look up and see the palms meet. And then just fold forward. Let your hands come to the floor. Maybe the elbows come to the floor. Maybe the forehead comes to the floor. Wherever you are is perfect. Perfect. Can you press the sit bones back down and feel the expansion in the back body as you just come back to that balanced breath, filling up and emptying out. If you want to sway, you can sway. We'll crawl the hands back toward the ankles and lift up, or knees if you're not in a cross-legged. And then we're just going to uncross, recross, different ankle in front. Inhale, arms up. Root into both sit bones. Exhale, fold. Hands down, maybe elbows down, maybe head drops. And just feel the difference. Feel your breathing. And you can sway if you like to sway. Good, and then gently make your way back up. When you come up, let's lift up the shoulders. Inhale. As you exhale, draw them back, and again, all the way down. Good. Take your right hand to the floor next to you. Tent the hand coming to the fingertips. Lift up the left hand as you breathe in here. Lengthen through the left side. Bend the right elbow and lean to the right. Looking at the hand or looking at the computer. Just feel that length through the left side rib cage, all the way from maybe pinky finger to hip crease. And press against the floor to come to the other side. So left finger's tented on the floor. Inhale, right hand lifts up. Find that length. And then exhale, you can pull the navel back as you lean. So that left shoulder and left elbow bends and left shoulder moves away from the ear. Feel the length from pinky finger to hip crease. Feel free to rock the head any way that's nice. And then press against the floor to come back up. Good, and one more circle for the shoulders this time. Inhale, they lift. Exhale, back and down. Okay, so now we're a little bit more embodied and present and calm. So we're gonna make our way to hands and knees. And we'll just do a couple cat-cow shapes. So as you inhale, you pull the hands toward the knees without them moving to expand the heart forward. Sit bones lifting. And as you exhale, drop the head, press the floor, space out the shoulder blades and draw the navel in. And again, inhale. Wide collarbones. And exhale. Press the floor, lift the belly. Good. Come back to a flat back, a neutral spine. And then we'll drop the belly and lift those sit bones. Like there's a hook pulling your sit bones or your tailbone toward the top corner of your room. And then curl under the toes and press into the hands. Just hover the knees off the floor an inch or two. I want you to feel your core turn on. Breathe. Good. And then a slow rise up to downward facing dog as you start to straighten the knees and dip the heels. And feel free to separate the feet as wide as you like for this first one. Bending the right knee to dip the left heel back. Bending the left knee to dip the right heel back. Dangling the head. And then maybe bending both knees to lift those sit bones up and back again as the hands press. And then slowly drop both heels toward the floor. Doesn't matter if they touch, but if they do touch, you can lift all 10 toes. And then just find that nice amount of length from your hands to your hips and from your hips to your heels. Find the length of your breathing, the balance of the breath. Good. And then lift both heels again. Come high up onto the tippy toes. And then with the feet at least hip widths apart, swivel both heels all the way down to the right. So you're like on a balance beam here. And then the hips pull up and back like you're still in dog. The tailbone's still lifting up towards center. We'll equal the weight in the hands. And then we'll do the other side. So back to your tippy, tippy, tippy toes, heels as high as possible. Swivel both heels to the left.
And lift those hips straight up the midline like you're still in dog. It's okay if a knee is bent. Try to let go of any tension in the neck or face. Good, and then back high onto the tippy toes. Keep the heels high, bend the knees, look forward, inhaling. Through your exhale, just walk up to the front of your yoga mat. When you get there, hands to the shins, lengthen the spine on an in-breath, flat back. Fold on the out-breath, heavy head, heavy heels. Feel free to clasp your elbows and sway. And can that tailbone, those sit bones, still rise upward as the head dangles low? Good, and then release the arms. Sweep them back, out and up, bend the knees, rise up, reach up, press up, inhale. Palms come together if appropriate. Hands to the heart, prayer pose, exhale. Gorgeous. Shoulders back and down, back of the head back, navel back. Good, and just standing nice and tall. Steady and soften your gaze and eyes. Bring your thumbs to your breastbone. And connecting to your heart center, set an intention for this morning's practice. What would serve you best from a heart-centered place? Maybe some more love, some self-appreciation, some balance, some tenderness, some healing. And then on your next in-breath, palms come together and up. Inhale. You can lean back. Fold as you exhale. Lead with the heart. Drop your head. Flat back. Inhale, hands to the shins. Prop the heart up. Draw the shoulders back. And then fold forward again as you exhale. Fingertips tent on the floor, all 10. Bend the right knee and just lift the left leg straight up and back. And I want you to peek at the back foot. Can you turn the toes down, even the pinky toe? Press the foot against an imaginary wall, so the foot's in flexion, and then start to extend the heart forward any amount. That might mean walking the hands forward or using blocks. That might mean climbing both hands up to the right shin to lift the heart. That might mean keeping the fingers on the floor and having the elbows bent. It's all good. Just take one more in-breath here. And then bend the right knee a lot to land the left toes all the way to the back of your yoga mat. And when it lands, drop the back knee. Take your right hand onto your right thigh to prop the heart up and lift the left hand. Okay, so drop that right shoulder and then lean to the right with the left pinky finger pulling. Little space in the front of that left hip. Feel free to dip lower into the hips to look over the right shoulder or forward. And then draw the navel in and inhale both arms up. Palms meet or not, your choice. Leaning back if you like. And then releasing all 10 fingertips back to the floor. Lift the back knee. Look forward. Inhale. As you exhale, step forward with the left foot. Good. Flattening the back. Inhale. And fold in half, exhale. All 10 fingertips again on the floor, tented. Little bend in the left knee. Right leg straight up and back, just hip height. Now peek at the toes so you can turn all 5 toes down. So there's a little inner thigh rolling upward action. Good. Left knee, standing leg can bend any amount. Heart extends forward. So maybe blocks, fingertips. Change the positioning of your hands if you like. If you want to play with balance, both hands come to that front shin. Reach the right heel back like you're pressing a wall away. Keep your breath flowing. Good. And then maybe the hands come back down. If they were on the shin, bend the left knee more to land the right toes far back on your mat. When they land, right knee dips to the floor. Left hand to left thigh. Looking forward, inhale, right hand up. Good. Drop this left shoulder and then lean to the left. So can that right pinky finger lead the way? You might feel a nice opening in that frontal hip, the psoas muscle, the hip flexor. Feel free to dip lower into the hips here. Feel your breath move through the right rib cage. And then hug the navel in as you empty the breath.
Take both arms up, inhale, look up, lean back if you want. Hands come down as you exhale. Lift the back knee. Inhale to look forward. On your exhale, just step to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold in half, exhale. Bring the big toes together to touch. Bend both knees. Dipping the hips low and lift up your hands for a classic chair pose. So all 10 toes can lift and spread here as the hips anchor downward. The knees shift back. The pinkies rotate towards one another so the upper back stays broad. And on your exhale, you're going to hug the navel in a little bit more. Good, and we're just going to play a little by lifting the right heel now off the floor. So all 5 right toes down. And then drop it. And then lift the left heel off the floor. Good, and then drop it. And see if you can play with lifting both heels, coming onto your tippy toes in chair. Keep breathing, hug the navel in, maybe sink a little lower in the hips. Stay on the tippy toes. Inhale, stand with your heels lifted, fingers to the ceiling. And then let your heels come down and hands to your heart. I know those are a little challenging. Loop the shoulders back and down, draw the navel back. Back of the head back, chin lowers slightly. Remember your intention. You're here to take care of yourself. That might mean challenging yourself. It might not. On your inhale, both hands lift. Fold as you exhale, lead with the heart, drop your head. Flatten out, inhale, hands to shins, prop up. And fold again as you exhale, fingers on the floor, step the left foot to the back of your mat. Now this time just walk the right foot a little to the right. And as you inhale, we're going to rise up to the crescent pose. So both hands lift, both hips dip, that back leg can straighten or bend. I want you to keep your low back supported, tail reaching down, navel hugging in. Sink as low as you like, and then we're just going to turn to the right and spread arms. Good. Keep the right hand reaching back, look forward to the left hand and let it float back as well. So optional to keep your arms straight, palms up, or you can bend the elbows into a cactus shape. Open across the heart. Feel that in-breath rise from the belly up to the chest. And on the out-breath, the chest empties, the ribs hug in, and then the navel pulls back and maybe dip lower into the legs. Good, and then inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands down. This time we're going to step back with the right foot to plank pose. Inhale here. Shift forward on the tippy toes and lower halfway or all the way as you exhale. Roll up to cobra or upward dog on your inhale. And back to downward dog as you exhale. Beautiful. Take a few breaths to settle in. Good, and then heels lift. Bend the knees, inhale, looking forward. Walk forward as you exhale, top of your mat. Halfway up, inhaling. Fold forward, exhaling. Fingertips on the floor. Right foot steps all the way back. Wiggle the left foot to the left of it so you widen your base for balance. And then inhale, rise, crescent pose. So play with it and feel it, right? Back knee can be bent, tail reaching down, navel hugging in. Back leg can straighten if it's safe for your low back. Can both sides of the waist stay long? And then when you're ready, open to the left, spread your arms. Good. Look to the front right hand and then let it float back. So you want to widen the collarbones, open the heart. Shoulder blades get a little closer, elbows straight or bent, totally optional. Feel that breath rise up from bottom to top. And then let it descend. And as it empties, the navel pulls back. Maybe you sink lower into the legs. Arms up, inhale, full expression. Hands to the earth, exhale, step the left foot back, plank pose, inhale. Shift forward on the toes, exhale, lower, halfway or all the way, your choice. Inhale to the cobra or upward dog, elbows in, and downward dog, exhale. Nice work. Let's bring the feet together here, big toes touching again.
And then we're going to play a little bit by pivoting over to the outer edge of the right foot. Left foot stacks on top and left hand lifts. If this is too much for you today, top foot comes to the floor in front of the hip like a kickstand. Okay, otherwise, if feet are stacked, toes pull toward the shins, hips lift away from the floor, and either way, left arm can extend overhead. Breathe. Good. Left hand comes to the floor, come on to all 10 toes, and we'll swivel to the other side. So outer left foot, right foot on top or right foot to the earth in front of you. Reach up with the right hand, lift both hips, and if you like, right arm extends over the ear, pulling a little space through the right side of the body. Keep lifting the hips, keep your breath flowing. You can pull the navel in. Good, and then back to your plank pose, inhale. On the toes, tippy toes, lower, exhale. Up to the cobra or up dog as you breathe in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. And take a few breaths. Feel free to drop into child's pose at any time. If you're still with us, right foot lifts up and back, three-legged dog, inhale. And right knee out or right arm as you exhale. Stay here. Try to lift the knee up toward the shoulder or tricep. Engage that back leg. Good, and then float it back, three-legged dog. Inhale. Pause here. Turn the right toes to the right. Bend the right knee, aim it up. Dip that left heel toward the mat. Press equally into the hands. And then extend the right foot back as you inhale. Set it down. Exhale, down dog. Left foot up. Inhale. Shift forward, left knee out or left arm. Exhale, stay here. Hike it up to the shoulder if you can. Draw the navel in, engage that back leg. Good, three-legged dog. Inhale. Pause, turn the left toes open. Bend the left knee, aim it up, dip the right heel. Press into the hands, soften the neck and face. Breathe. Good, left foot reaches back, three-legged dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. High on the tippy toes, bend the knees, look forward, inhale. Float or walk to the front of your mat as you exhale. Halfway up, inhale, I'm not floating today. Full hold forward, exhale. Big toes touch, bend the knees, chair pose, inhale. Let's just play. Keep breathing. We won't do both tippy toes right now. Sink a little low, reach a little high as you breathe in. Come up to standing as you breathe out. Hands to your heart. Shoulders roll back, navel pulls in, stand tall. Whew. All right, let's take a break with a little bit of balancing. So find a steady, even breath. Shift the weight into the right foot, steady your gaze. And then when you're ready, just lift up your left knee. So if you'd like, you can take your hands to your shin and draw it inward so that you stand up a little taller. Good, and then let's take hands to hips. And sometimes that left hip wants to lift when the knee does, so use your left hand to guide it downward. Good, and then extend the left leg straight out in front of you. So the tendency here is to lean back. Whoops. And instead of leaning back, can you keep the head aligned over the bottom foot? Lift those left toes, spread them, reach through the heel. Pull the navel in. If you want a little more, arms float up. The more you press into the standing foot, the easier it is to lift the lifted leg. And if you fall, just come back. If it's hard to lift it, just notice that. We'll just take one more breath in this shape. Without touching the knee, bend it toward the chest again. Good, and then we're gonna shift forward toward warrior three. So keep the left knee bent at first as you extend the left knee back and the heart forward. Arms can reach forward and back leg can straighten out, or arms out to the sides for help with balance, or hands to the hips to again help guide that left hip downward and the right hip backward. And then flatten the back foot as if you're pressing it against a wall. Maybe lift it a little higher. Play. If you want to reach forward, make it harder, do it. It's totally your choice. It's okay if the standing leg bends. One more inhale here. And then both hands to the floor. Tent the fingertips if you like. Drop the head. And this time lift the back foot as high as you like. Dip the head low. Keep breathing. Good. And then we're going to bend the standing leg even more to land those left toes all the way to the back of the mat again. Wiggle the right foot a little to the right. Rise up to crescent pose as you inhale. Good. And then we're going to turn right, spread arms. Exhale. But this time, the back hand, the right hand, is going to land on the left hamstring, and the left hand is going to lift up. So you're going to get a deeper release in that psoas that we just worked. Pull the pinky finger away from the hip crease. Maybe dip lower into the legs. Your choice. Take a breath. Good. And then left hand comes to the earth, under the shoulder. Right hand comes to the sky. And maybe right arm reaches forward as you pull that right hip crease back. Straighten the back leg. Press into the right big toe. Good, and then take the right hand down. Step back to plank pose. As you inhale, the foot can hover if you like. Shift forward and lower halfway or all the way as you exhale. Up dog or cobra on the in-breath. And down dog, exhale. We're almost done. Take a couple breaths. Good. When you're ready, heels lift, knees bend, look forward as you breathe in. Walk or float to the top of your mat as you breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale, long spine. Melt in half, exhale, touch the big toes, chair pose, inhale. Well, just 3 breaths here, navel in, tail down, weight shifts back. Sink a little lower, reach a little higher, take your in-breath. Press to standing on your out-breath, hands to your heart. All right, so one more side of balance and then we'll be on our backs. Steady your gaze, balance your breath, and then shift the weight into your right foot. Oh no, I'm sorry, shift the weight into your left foot. My mistake, we just did the right. Shift your weight into your left foot. As you exhale, just draw the right knee up. Feel free to take your hands to the shins and pull it up a little higher to lengthen up through the back of the skull. Drop the shoulders, and then bring your hands to your hips and extend the right leg forward. Good, so press, press, press the heel forward, pull the toes back. Right hand can help guide that right hip downward. Keep pressing into the standing foot to lengthen. Try not to lean back. Arms up if you'd like. Breathe. Soften the forehead. Sometimes the eyebrows lift. We think it's going to help us lift the foot. It doesn't. Breathe and just explore. All that little wobbling, all those little muscles turning on to help you here. One of the great things about yoga is you use different muscles than you would normally. Good. One more in-breath. Without touching the knee, just bend it. That helps to release the low back. And then we're going to slowly start to hinge forward. Keep the right knee bent as you draw it behind you to start. So arms might come straight in front, out to the sides or to your hips. Straighten the back leg. Guide that right hip downward. Optional too is you guys to take both hands to the standing thigh to help prop up the heart. Your choice. So reach the inner right heel back. Pinky toe rotates down. So the inseam of the leg rolls up. Navel hugs in for support. Maybe you reach forward. I don't care if the standing leg is bent, but play with straightening the lifted back leg. Good. Just one more in-breath. And then drop your hands, drop your head. Lift the back leg as high as you like now. Good. And then bend the standing leg and land the right toes all the way to the back of your mat. Now wiggle that left foot to the left so you widen the base and rise up for your crescent. Good. Sink into the hips, turn left, spread your arms. Left back hand drops to the back right hamstring. Right hand pulls back.
Pinky finger leads the way, so you manage the amount of stretch, the amount of sweetness and opening and sensation in the front of that right hip, and maybe dip lower into the legs. This should feel pretty nice. Good, and then right hand comes to the earth, left hand comes to the sky. Hug the left hip crease back, but press into the front big toe, and left arm extends overhead. So pull the hip away from the fingertips again. Yes. And then left hand comes down when you're ready. Step it back to your plank. You can hover the foot if you like. Shift forward and lower, chaturanga or to the belly. Inhale up and exhale, downward dog. Good job. Feel free to take a nice sweet in-breath and sigh it out. Lift the hips, dip the heels, press the hands, and then let your knees float to the floor. When they come down, crawl forward. Cross the ankles, roll right to your back, giving the knees a hug, giving yourself some love and support. I like to rock a little side to side. All right, so cross the ankles here for a moment, and then lift both feet up with the cross of the ankles. Notice which ankle is in front. Good, so option is to reach your hands straight up. If you want a little more of a challenge, arms float back behind you. Draw the front ribs to the floor. So you're going to feel the navel turn on, and squeeze the ankles against one another, and just see if you can lift the heels toward the ceiling. So the very small of your low back, or even just the sacrum, starts to lift away from the floor. So squeeze ankles and lift. Front ribs pull down. Neck tries to soften. So let's just do 3 little pulses. 1, 2, 3. Uncross, recross. Different ankle in front. So hug the navel and hug the front ribs in, and lift the heels. Try to soften the neck. Squeeze the ankles against each other. And then 3 little pulses. 1, 2, try not to rock the feet. 3, good. And then bend the knees, hug them into your chest. You can rock a little, uncross the ankles. And we'll drop both feet to the floor. Good. When the feet land, just cross the right ankle over the left knee and hug the left leg toward you. So we'll get a nice little hip release. You can wiggle the head, you can sway a little bit. You can let that right knee drape out to the right as you hug the left knee, left leg in a little deeper, bending the elbows, softening the face. You might tuck the chin down a little so the back of the neck stays long. Soften and separate the teeth. I don't think you can soften your teeth, but soften your jaw by separating your teeth. Good, and then let's release the left foot to the floor, uncross the right ankle and switch it over. Left ankle crosses, let the knee drape out, hug your right leg in. Soften your eyes, your mouth, your belly. And come back to that balanced breath, helping to balance your nervous system to keep you calm and relaxed. Maybe the elbows bend a little, the chin draws down a little. And then we'll release from this side. Let's take the left foot to the floor next to the right foot. Drop the knees apart so the soles of the feet can touch. Place a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly. Let your elbows drop if possible. And just let the breath fill your whole torso as you breathe in and empty you completely as you breathe out. And as you breathe out this final time, pull the belly button in to take the knees up. And when the knees touch together, wiggle the feet wide apart. Can you feel the sides of your yoga mat with the outer edges of the feet? Open the arms into a cactus shape. And then drop both knees to the left for a moment. You can turn your gaze to the right. Full breath in. And complete breath out.
And the navel pulls back when you're empty to take the knees back to center, head to center. And both knees to the right. Turn the gaze to the left. Full breath in. Complete breath out. And when you're empty, navel pulls in to bring the knees back up. And then feel free to windshield wipe the knees side to side, taking the head opposite to the knees if you'd like, or same direction, just to loosen things up for a moment. Beautiful. And then when both knees come up, bring the feet beneath the knees, hug the right knee to the chest. Extend the left leg out on the floor, open the right arm to the right, bent or straight, your choice, and guide the right knee all the way over to the left. You can weight the leg with the left hand if you'd like. Turn the head whichever way is most comfortable and just let the right shoulder soften, the right outer hip soften, let the belly be soft to receive and release your breathing, let your face relax. And watch your mind, it's going to pull you away. When it does, just return to this moment, this body, this next breath. And then gently coming back to center. Right knee in, left knee comes in with it. And keeping the left knee bent this time, extend the right leg out, open the left arm to the left, and guide your left knee across. And keep the leg weighted with the hand if you'd like. Let the left shoulder release. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Notice the sensations happening. Notice the flow of breath, where you feel it. Make sure you smooth it out if it's jagged. Can you let your belly be free so that it expands and then empties? Good. And when you feel complete, you can guide that left knee back to center, hugging the knees to the chest, maybe circling them in both directions. If you'd like a last happy baby pose or a straddle with your legs, feel free to get whatever you need right now. And then we will meet when you're ready in Savasana. I want to give you a solid 5 minutes of sound bath in your Savasana. So you have about 30 more seconds to do whatever you'd like. And then when you feel ready, let yourself open into your final resting pose of Savasana. Let the palms spin up. Let the palms spin up. Let the eyes soften and close. And separate the top and bottom teeth. Allow a full inhale to fill you. If you haven't already, open the lips and sigh it out. Just let yourself relax and receive the vibrations of these healing bolts as they pass through you, helping to harmonize and balance anything that might be out of balance remaining.
As you very gently and softly return to your body, feel free to take a full, expansive breath in and then release it. And just feel yourself land right here. Notice how you feel and all of the benefits that you receive from this beautiful practice that you've just given to yourself, that you've just shared with others here. Always at the end of a yoga practice, I love to just make sure that we take a moment to appreciate ourselves for showing up, to honor the practice and the lineage, and just to be grateful for whatever we discovered about ourselves along the way. So you can take a last sweet breath of gratitude all the way in. And as you let go of your breath, maybe you can hold on to some of that goodness, some of that wisdom, some of that appreciation so that you can carry it into the rest of your day and your dealings with the world at large. It helps. Thank you guys for practice. Namaste.